Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Real. It's Trek Tuesday, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of the original series, The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, or Enterprise. Today, I'm going to be looking at Borg, from The Next Generation's 5th season. Or as I like to call it, that time Geordi had a pet Borg. This episode was requested by Dandelion Down, so I hope you enjoy the video and thank you for supporting my channel. We begin the episode with a multiverse of Red Power Rangers looking at a star and receiving a potential distress call, so after doing the Picard maneuver, Riker heads for the transporter room. He asks for a medical team, but only Beverly shows up, and they read a single life form, a Borg drone, and into the credits we go. Picard is not cool with this discovery, especially after his ordeal in The Best of Both Worlds, and orders the team back up. However, Beverly is insistent that they help it. But Worf...
Kill it now!
Picard gives in and agrees to bring it on board with heavy precautions and stomps off to his ready room, where Deanna, states the obvious Troy, goes to see him. He's pretty dismissive of her. Oh, hello, Boom Mike! With the chips in the drone's brain needing to be replaced, Picard wants Geordi to tinker around in there to make the drone infectious to the Borg and get him reassimilated. And dude, that's pretty extreme. You're talking about wiping out an entire species, even if they are dicks.
We're talking about annihilating an entire race.
That's what I said. Everyone is on board with the idea of wiping out the Borg, even Troy, but Beverly is not cool with this plan. However, Picard is insistent that they kill them all. The Borg wakes up doing its best mime act, but with it being cut off from the collective, it's not getting what it needs.
Arrange to feed it.
And it's not coping well.
If I didn't know better, I'd think he was scared.
Guinan and Picard are fencing and they discuss their new passenger. Guinan thinks having a Borg on board is a dumb idea and proves her point by faking injury only to attack Picard. Picard will remember that. Geordi and Worf go in to hook up a power thingy to keep the drone alive.
We are Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Just look around, pal. You're hardly in a position to make any demands.
Geordi asks its name, to which it replies, Third of Five, and with the doodad installed, they leave him to it. The drone asks why a non-Borg would help him, but Geordi's like, I'm just a cool guy. He and Beverly get into a debate over the Borg testing they're about to subject the drone to, and try to explain the procedure to him.
You will be assimilated.
Yes, but before that happens, could we ask you a few questions?
They discuss names and decide to call the drone Hugh.
We are Hugh.
Hugh aces the tests he's given, and through this whole scene, I'm wondering how LeVar Burton was able to see anything. Hugh says he doesn't like not being able to hear the other Borg and asks if he can go home. Well, this is awkward. Geordi is having second thoughts and goes to Guinan, who is like, bitch please, that thing in his family will kill you all. So Geordi suggests she talk to Hugh for herself. Well, this is inevitable. The Borg are on their way and will be here in a day. Guinan puts on her ass-kicking outfit and goes to see Hugh, telling him resistance isn't futile and blames him for her people being almost wiped out.
We don't even have a home anymore.
He identifies her as lonely, just like him. And Geordi explains to him why being assimilated sucks balls, and Hugh decides that they're friends. Data and Geordi go to Picard with a plan of puzzling the Borg to death, and Geordi admits that he's having second thoughts, but Picard just tells him to get over it. Guinan swings by Picard's quarters with doubts about the plan and says he should talk to him.
It's not a person, damn it, it's a Borg!
But despite his protests, Guinan is insistent he speak to him. Worf and Hugh beam to Picard's ready room because Picard will be damned if he has to walk, and he tells Worf to wait outside. Hugh recognizes him as Locutus, and Picard goes along with it, ordering the assimilation of everyone, but Hugh doesn't want to.
Must Geordi be assimilated?
Picard peer pressures him, but Hugh is insistent that he will not help.
But you are Borg.
No. I am Hugh.
Picard admits to the others that he no longer wants to use Hugh as a weapon, but thinks that his memories of being an individual might pass on to the collective if he's reassimilated. Beverly has a question though.
What if he doesn't want to go back?
Well, with 6 minutes left of the episode, I don't think we'll have much time to debate this. They give Hugh the choice of Borg or the Enterprise, and he wants to stay with his friend, but says it's too dangerous because the Borg will always hunt them down. So he and Geordi beam to the crash site. Hello, Boom Mike!
Bye, Geordi. I will try to remember you.
Memory deleted.
the Borg show up retrieving Hugh but ignoring Geordi for some reason. And that's it. Wow, what a fantastic episode, and thank you once again to Dandelion Down for recommending it. Every so often, Star Trek tackles the moral implications of the captain's decisions, such as Tuvix and Dear Doctor, but this one is near perfect in its story and execution. Jonathan Del Arco, who plays Hugh, is wonderful portraying the vulnerability and confusion of a Borg severed from the collective, and even under the prosthetics and makeup manages to convey such depth of character in his facial expressions alone. Del Arco, being such a fan of the original series, auditioned for Wesley Crusher, obviously not getting it, but I'm glad he was able to play such an impactful character, as well as Fantomi in Voyager, and I'm delighted to hear that he reprised his role in Picard, even though I haven't seen it. I love how realistically the characters react to Hugh, Geordi naming him because he's always been a sympathetic character, Beverly championing saving him because she's a doctor, something we get a lot of in the Trek universe, Picard being ruthless because of what the Borg did to him, and Guinan strongly being opposed to the whole thing because the collective wiped out most of her race. But it's really a testament to the acting and storytelling that the characters like Guinan and Picard come around to Hugh after talking to him, without it coming across as forced or hokey. It also brings up a wider question of who and what the Borg actually are. They personally scare the bejesus out of me. I find they're very similar to zombies, which also terrify me. But Hugh and 1 and 7 of 9 bring up the question of whether as individuals they can be rehabilitated rather than be annihilated on a mass scale. The one thing that I think could have been added was Data's opinion on the whole thing. I know androids and Borg aren't the same thing, but after episodes like The Measure of a Man, I feel like he would express the needs for rights and individuality. Having said that, this is one of those wonderful episodes that make you think, focusing less on action and more on character growth, which really cements Star Trek as an iconic franchise. So there you have it. That was I, Borg. If there's an episode of Star Trek you'd like me to cover, pop it down in the comments below or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want to be assimilated into my channel. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and live long and prosper.